Okay, today we're going to be talking about the SOG Fusion Fixation FX-10 Dagger. Little backstory about this. I was asking a guy I know in the U.S. Air Force what kind of knife he uses, because I was looking for a kind of just a general purpose knife for, camping, something like that. Just a nice sharp knife. And he kind of pointed me in the direction of the SOG Fusion Fixation. I'm not too sure what it was, but it wasn't a dagger. But doing that, he kind of got me into researching all about the SOGs, which I wasn't too familiar with, and I came across the FX-10 Dagger. And I'm glad I did, because this is a pretty good knife, actually. Let's just talk about the sheath for now. Right here, if I can illustrate that properly, here, you got a lot of space here. Right now, this is on a pistol belt, duty belt, military belt, police belt, law enforcement belt, I don't know. There's so many different names for it, doesn't really matter. But the main point that I'm trying to show you is that this is a lot larger than your regular kind of size belt. Regular belt might be half the size or something like that, but the reason I'm showing you this is because this is probably the best way to put the knife on on the belt, because there's a lot of space right there. This isn't really a disadvantage, it's more an advantage because it allows you to put it on any belt, but if you have a smaller belt, it's going to kind of, jiggle like this a little bit more. And if you put it on a larger belt, it doesn't jiggle as much. Plus, if you have half the size belt, you're going to have to pull, and you're doing a one-handed pull, you're going to have to pull this up and wait for the whole belt to go down there, and kind of it gets stopped to pull out your knife with a one hand. That's not too bad. On this belt, I've tried doing like one-handed pulls, just pulling it out with one hand, and it's worked fine just because it's a larger belt and there's less pull, doesn't move around as much. It's just an interesting little feature they have there. If that annoys you, well, there's not much modification on the backside here. That's pretty much what you get, and you can just put it there. What else? We got this little pouch here on the front that they give you. You can put matches, sharpening stone, I guess. It's not that large, so you're not going to be putting, something, I guess, bigger than a pack of matches in there, maybe two if you're lucky. But yeah, it's just nice to kind of have on there. The sheath right around it is made out of, I don't actually know, I couldn't tell you, but it is definitely solid, it's hard. It's on all sides, really. I'm not sure what it is, but it's pretty good, sturdy, doesn't, you're not going to get sliced or anything on the sides, and it's not going to come out this end or anything like that, so it's pretty durable in that way. They have this one little button that keeps it secure, the knife secure. Not mainly to keep it in place exactly, because you can still pull this out like that, but it will catch on the little thumb notches, I guess, right there, and stop it from sliding out further. So that's always good. Most knives should have that at least, so it keeps it secure. That's all I can say about the sheath, really. We're gonna take out the knife now. So, the blade is about 6.5 inches approximately. Overall length is about 12 inches, I believe. Weighs 8.3 ounces. And right here we have a straight edge, and then we have a nice serrated edge right there, which then goes back into a straight edge, like right there. The handle itself is Kraton. It's actually fairly good gripped handle, plus with the thumb notches it makes it very secure for holding, maybe chopping or something like that. Definitely like the handle. Some people might not like it. It's a little bit skinny, but that's, I guess, your personal preference. On the knife right here, it is a black oxide finish, so it doesn't reflect as much as if it was just pure silverish looking thing. This knife on the bottom, as you can probably see, I'm not sure if it'll show it. Yeah, it's not really focusing, but I hope you can make out China. Lots of people might go, oh, it's made in China, now it's crap. No, not really, because You know, it has absolutely nothing to do with the country it's made in. It's just a piece of metal that's made into a knife. Most people who, well, I don't think there's really a country that can't do that. So, I mean, don't be put off by the made in China thing. Lots of things are made in China, and, you know, their quality is definitely improving in China. The price about for this is about $55, I think, US probably. I snagged it for a little bit cheaper, I think, but $55 is not too bad for this knife, actually. I might pay a little bit more. Just to talk about kind of the knife in general for usage. One advantage about the Fusion is that, you know, you have both sides. They're you know, double-edged. It's a dagger. So this is maybe more of a tactical or defensive knife. Yeah, you can definitely use this with both hands. For daggers, personally, I kind of believe that it would be better to have on your right side, or no, not your right side, sorry, your left side, just because, you know, if you pull it out with your right side and you need to maybe slash at something, animal or attacker of some sort, you know that one of the sides, well, both of the sides have, you know, a blade on them, versus having like a Bowie where one side is you know, doesn't have a blade on it, and you just kind of whack them with it. This, with a dagger, you know, you're gonna hit them with one of these sides, and it doesn't really matter. So I kind of personally, I think that this is good for people that want to maybe put something on their left side or something like that, because the advantage of having the two sides is. I like the serrations on this, actually. I mean, I'm not too sure. I think you can get a double edge without serrations, but I personally like the feature of having serrations. They're actually quite deep, which I do like, because I like my serrations very deep. I don't know why. I feel that they cut a lot better and they stay a lot more sharper. And these are fairly nice and deep, and they're definitely sharp. The edges are very sharp as well. Sharp right out of the box, actually. I haven't even sharpened this, and it was cutting perfectly fine. Some people, I mean, one thing that people always say is, you know, oh, mine was sharp right out of the box. Some are sharp right out of the box, and some aren't. So if yours isn't, don't panic. Sometimes that happens. It's just you know, I guess mass production sort of thing. Some get sharpened a little bit better, some don't get sharpened at all, some are just medium. So overall though, this is a very nice knife, nice and sharp. It's not too thick, as you can see right there. It's fairly thin, so I wouldn't recommend this for probably, like, you know, opening up a crate or something and putting a lot of weight downwards and, you know, pushing it up. I do like these thumb notches because they do allow you to put a little more thrust and, you know, get a bit more grip, so you, if you needed to, you know, stab a little bit more with more power. One thing that someone actually told me, I don't remember who, but they actually said that it's a lot better to have these metal things, because I don't really know why they told me this, don't ask me the context of the conversation, but they were talking about, you know, knife fights or something like that. I guess this would refer to more military things. If a knife was to come down all the way there, you know it's going to hit that, so, you know, if your thumb's right there, you know the knife's not going to go further down and cut your thumb, which is actually excellent. And I feel like, you know, if I'm cutting something, you know, this way too, I don't want to, you know, hurt my thumb. So it's really nice to have the protection of this metal, and this is like, this is not gonna, you know, break or anything probably, and it can take quite a bit of abuse probably. Back end might be able to be used as a glass breaker. Not too sure, don't really want to test that out, but, you know, it's metal there too, so that's pretty much all I can say about this knife, really. It's a really good knife. Definitely check it out. About $55, a bit more, maybe a bit less, depends on where you go, but it's definitely worth it. If you're looking for a fairly good knife, I'd just check out the SOG Fusion series. Really cheap, good quality for the price, and, you know, you're buying something that looks fairly professional, but without the price tag of it. So yeah, feel free to check that out. I'm going to provide a link to where you can buy it, and yeah, hope you enjoyed this review.